better coming into the last stop.
How could you predict it? 8 times we come out on the road, and we're here at Atlanta finally, and we've got 3 of our contests that are within 100 points, and the other contest in slalom is about 700 points difference there, but that was only accomplished, that comfortable lead, in the last tournament in Lake Cumberland in Kentucky. So this has been a real tough tour.
So almost all the events, they're fighting for that overall title and the extra bonus money and points.
I mean, the first time in the history of water skiing there's been a professional athlete in their particular event, and they want it bad, and it's right on the line here.
These top skiers at this event are true survivors, right, Bud?
True survivors indeed. Each tournament they've gotten accumulated Grand Prix points. By virtue of those points, they're allowed to ski here, and they've gone through injury, and they've gone to every site, and they've traveled 8,000 miles. 60 skiers have tried to get here. 22 are here today. They're the best in the world.
Well, as you can see, it's a beautiful afternoon here at Lake Lanier, Georgia for the fans. Let's go to our colleague now who's working the starting dock, Jim Biondi.
Thanks, Art. I'm here at the starting dock where I'll be interviewing the winners of today's events, and they'll be world champions. One of the very important aspects of that is a question I want to ask Carlos Maciel, the tour event coordinator. Carlos, what are the conditions out here today? Water, wind?
Well, Jim, actually they're less than ideal. We've got rough water caused by some open area in this lake, other boat traffic way beyond what we can see. We've got a wind problem that's changing. It's drifting from side to side, from end to end. It's going to show some unusual conditions out here, challenging for the skiers to say.
All right, Carlos, we'll look for that all afternoon. Now let's go back to Art Ekman.
Thank you, Jim. You know, there was lots of action that set the scene for this tournament at Lake Lanier, Georgia, and that happened to be in Kentucky at the Lake Cumberland Classic. The Lake Cumberland Classic at Somerset, Kentucky, only did more to bring the front runners closer together in the Grand Prix point standings. Some of the big names in slalom skiing were eliminated early. Morgan, Hazelwood, Kris LaPoint, Lucky Lowe, John McElroy, and Andy Mapple. Mick Neville of Australia beat out Mike Morgan and John McElroy to move into his very first finals. He has improved steadily throughout.
You know, Mick Neville, one of the strong Australian entourage in the International Water Ski Tour, came over from his nationals, slow starting, came on. At this tournament, he ran back-to-back 38s to take on Bob LaPoint. He needed one more, and he just didn't have it in him.
Nice style from the young man from Australia.
And he's getting stronger every stop.
But the perennial power, Bob LaPoint, in the head-to-head competition, down Lucky Lowe and Andy Mapple to meet Neville. And it was LaPoint winning once again. Pretty hard to beat the strength of this young man.
Bob LaPoint is just on a roll, as they say in the sport. The man can't be beat. Everything he does is good, and he's just doing as well at 28 years old as he's ever done in his life.
Look at the spray he generates with that power.
Takes that gate right back out in the championship at Cumberland with him.
Men's slalom, LaPoint, Neville, Mapple, McElroy, the order of finish at the Lake Cumberland Classic. In the women's slalom action, surprise, Karin Roberge and Camille Duvall were eliminated. Young 16-year-old Kim Laskoff made her presence felt, downing the more experienced veteran, Karin Roberge. It's fun to see that golden hair fly.
What a treat she's been on the tour this year. 16 years old, only skiing 5 years. Every week she improves and takes on the pressure. And went against Deena and just didn't quite make the cut.
Deena Brush moved into the finals, taking her closest and most competitive rival, Camille Duvall. It was Deena taking over the point lead with the victory.
Well, that battle between Camille and Deena, that 100 points that she picked up here, put her ahead. Looking forward to Atlanta, and Deena never looked better at Lake Cumberland.
Deena started very strong on the tour, but Camille just wouldn't let her off the hook.
Kept nipping at her heels, but you know, world record holder Deena Brush always there.
Brush, Laskoff, Duvall, and Roberge, the finishing order in Kentucky. In freestyle jumping, the Cole-Clack rivalry rages on. Harold Cole amassed a 12,000-point total, 12,231.5 to be exact.
You know, he was going for it in everything he could do, and he's so good, invented most of these tricks that the skiers do. Felt good about that, but it wasn't quite enough, Art.
Because Scott Clack took the title by a close margin, 12,804 points, compared with the 12,231.5 of Harold Cole's.
The irony of it is that Scott Clack doing this beautiful 720, then coming away from it, wanted the world record, missed it by 100 points.
Clack, Cole, Jackson, and McAnespie, the order of finish. In the men's jumping, those who tried and were eliminated: Mike Morgan, Geoff Carrington, Bob LaPoint, and Dan Zeit. beginner sometimes, but he showed vast improvement, leaping 184 feet through the air. Lucky placing second. Glenn Thurlow, the world record holder, tied with Lucky at 184, but had the lesser backup jump
of 173 feet, which made him come in number 3. But Glenn looked real good, improving every week, every tour stop. Looking forward to Atlanta.
Then there's that little competitor, Sammy Duvall, coming back from injury after an unscheduled meeting with the ramp in Shreveport, Louisiana. But he lost valuable ground in the point standings, Bud, with his best leap of 181 that day, placing him 4th.
He sure did. He wasn't able to put it together, but you know, in a tribute to Sammy Duvall, he took a heck of a spill in Shreveport, and to be able to come back as strong as he did that quick is really something.
Mike Hazelwood took the advantage and the title with a leap of 191 feet.
Mike is awesome. He's on. He's got his jumping dialed in. The jump speaks for itself. 191-foot jump, and it was the easiest 191 we saw on the tour so far.
Hazelwood on a roll. Lowell's best leap of the tour for second, and Thurlow's best placing on the tour, Duvall 4th. That's the way it is coming into the final stop on the tour, but that doesn't mean that who won at Lake Cumberland is going to win here at Lake Atlanta or Lake Lanier in Atlanta.
Not at all, because Lake Cumberland was its own tournament, so is this one. Clack and Cole, Duvall and Brush, Duvall and Hazelwood, Mapple and LaPoint. They're the names we've been hearing, but anybody can win here. This tournament stands on its own merits.
And we are anxious to see them on the water, as are the fans here at Lake Lanier, Georgia. So we'll be right back with the action from Lake Lanier, Georgia, right after these messages.
Hydroslide kneeboard. Wild, wet, and probably the most fun you'll ever have on water. Hydroslide kneeboarding combines the excitement of surfing with the control of water skiing. And it's so easy to learn, even kids can do it. But the Hydroslide's not just for kids. Even expert water skiers like world overall champion Sammy Duvall use it for recreation, for relaxation, for thrills. Hydroslide kneeboarding is fun, fast, and very, very wet. Slide into fun on the Hydroslide.
Are you up to Mastercraft? A ski made for the masters. A ski that set the world record. A record that held for 4 years. And when that record fell, it was broken by Mastercraft. Top professionals use Mastercraft skis for record-setting performances. If you're up to challenging the best, do it on a Mastercraft ski. Find out what Mastercraft is up to. Keep up with championship skiers and visit your nearest Mastercraft ski dealer. Mastercraft skis, sold only by professionals at specialty marine and sporting goods stores. Mastercraft skis. And the best is yet to come. Mastercraft.
Time now for the men's slalom, and what a terrific competition this is going to be. Let's go down to Paul McFarland, dockside.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 4 finalists for the championship round of the International Water Ski Tour and men's slalom competition. The runner-up in the slalom competition at the Masters from Lake Wales, Florida, Mike Morgan. Nine-time national champion, 8 times master champion from Sacramento, California, Kris LaPoint. The British and European record holder in this event, Andy Mapple from Clifton, Lancashire, Great Britain. And finally, the world champion and world record holder from Lake Tahoe, California, Bob LaPoint. Good luck, men.
The men's slalom point standings, and you see Bob LaPoint has dominated. Well, it's the only division that's been dominated so far. champions' turn now. South African overall champion back in 1983. In fact, it was 2.5 off, or 2.5 buoys at 39.5 off at the South African Masters in Johannesburg, which has been his best effort yet. He lets go of the rope. Good set up right.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless because he wasn't in a turn. He didn't have a tremendous force seem to be working against him. I don't want to criticize a great skier, but I want to see that replay, and here it comes right now. It's coming around the buoy. Let's keep our eyes and see what happened here, because that certainly was unfortunate. He was in good position there.
Pulls back. It looked like there was a big slack.
He got some slack there, but he seemed like he was going for making it up. Now he comes outside here, goes to reach, and it just slips right out of his hand. But I'm not going to criticize Mike Morgan, a great slalom skier that he is, because things are going on out there you and I really can't appreciate because we're not out there.
Okay, Kris LaPoint at 38 feet off. That means 37 feet of rope. Now, it's only 37.5 feet from the boat to the outer buoy.
The rope handle is 6 inches short of the buoy. He's going through 38. He wants them all. Goes down with a spectacular fall.
Kris LaPoint raises his hand as you saw the look of disappointment. And gets a nice hand from the fans. Let's check it out and see what might have gone astray.
Pulling real hard, comes through the wake, changes his edge. Gosh, looks like, I don't know, it looks like he hooked the ski a little bit when he came around through the course. He's pulling real hard. He pulled all the way through the wake that time, and he just has no time at all. You see, he hits the buoy. He actually struck the buoy and went down in the water. Skiers could break a leg doing that, by the way.
His best of 4.5 at 39.5 off. And so, moving into the final round, we've got Andy Mapple facing Bob LaPoint. But each course has its idiosyncrasies, but basically, how is it set out?
The slalom course consists of 6 buoys, 3 on each side of the boat path, which runs right down through the middle of the course. The slalom skier's objective is to get outside the boat, cut diagonally towards buoy number 1, and get a good buoy number 1, because that buoy number 1 sets up the pace for number 2, 3, and 4. Number 4 is equally important, because if the skier's in good control there, 5 and 6 should follow without too much effort, and the skier can make it out through the exit gates.
Andy Mapple up on the water now, the past European slalom champion, and we asked him about the possibility of what he might have to do in that final round.
Yeah, I've been chasing Bob all year. We both run 38 on practice, so I think it's going to take 2 or 3 at 39.5 off to beat Bob.
Mapple gets around the final buoy, and a fine performance is right there. He'll go through the right-out buoys. Mapple doing a fine job at 35 off. Bob LaPoint is up on the water now, a man of a few words usually. Let's see what he had to say before the competition.
It's going to be tough. I know he wants to finish off the year winning the last tournament, so do I. It'll be a good boost for next year, and the $2,000 bonus would be good, so it's going to be tough.
Bob LaPoint with some distance to go. Can he eliminate the mistakes? He does so. Beautiful style, Bob LaPoint.
You know, you hear the roar of that Ski Supreme boat as it rumbles down through the course, and that driver has to do so much. Jack Walker, our chief boat driver, Les Todd, our backup boat driver, they're running each boat head-to-head. It's tough stuff out there, what they're doing behind the wheel.
What a great shot, tight on the strong ankles of Bob LaPoint. Looked like he had a little trouble with that one.
You know, he did a little bit, but you know, Bob always seems to come back and correct. He's already made it up. Great body position. He's extending, pulling and resisting against that ski, digging in, makes his edge change, comes around the buoy. Bob LaPoint, just no slouch when it comes to slalom skiing.
Great champion. We'll be back with more exciting men's slalom action here at the Atlanta International Championship after this.
If your skiing requires something special, look into the exciting new Mastercraft Power Slot. The world leader in tournament towboats, Mastercraft introduces the ultimate in pulling power. The Power Slot, with a revolutionary 1.5 to 1 gear ratio, is the easiest ski boat to drive for short-line slalom and jumping. This, coupled with the Power Slot's reliable holding ability, proves that Mastercraft is more than a boat. Mastercraft is a statement of excellence.
Whatever you're into outdoors, you can cool off 85 motorhomes are now arriving at Camino Camper, the Northwest's #1 full-service RV sitters. Now it's true. Camino Camper is closing out all of their 84 motorhomes, but that doesn't mean you won't get more than your money's worth on a brand new 85. For example, a 1985 Dolphin, one of the most popular and efficient motorhomes on the market today. It's fully self-contained and value priced at Camino Camper for just $18,911, but only at Camino Camper in San Jose and Reno.
John Garfield, a champion prize fighter with a sordid secret. He thinks he's killed an opponent.
Johnny! Johnny, are you hurt?
Oh, he's all right.
Joey! Joey, what have they done to you? Joey! Joey! Are you all right?
He's on the lam and looking for an escape. It's the 1939 classic, They Made Me a Criminal, on your home for golden memories, the Classic Movie Channel.
Well, now at the wind at his back, you said it might push him down the course a little bit at 38 off.
And we do see the little chop in the water there that is coming right down as the boat comes towards us. So is the wind coming.
Don't
So is
forget
Andy
that
Mapple.
rope is a half-foot shorter than the actual distance from the boat out to those buoys. So he's got to extend, and he goes down.
Did you hear the pop of that rope when it left his hand? Tremendous forces at play with the skier there.
Andy Mapple trying to put it all together as best he could against Bob LaPoint.
Okay, we watch Andy go through. There's ball number 1 coming across, digging in. Ski pops up a little bit out of the water, goes on across, makes his edge change, comes around, got some slack rope, tried to make it up. Getting down real hard trying to make up the problem that he had there. And he did get back to the buoy. Watch the slack rope here, Art. Wow, that was that snap we heard earlier.
Certainly a great performance by Andy Mapple as he moved into the final round, taking second place here at Atlanta. However, Bob LaPoint, before assuming too much, must complete at least what Andy just did. Bob LaPoint, he won at Groveland, he won the Ironman, he won Shreveport, he won Cumberland, and now he's on his way to try to win Atlanta. Bob LaPoint, the fans are on their feet now.
Bob LaPoint got in some trouble around number 2, and there's no reason in the world why he made it around number 3. But he did it, and then he took 4, came across the wake, did what he had to do, and Bob LaPoint is our champion at this event.
Bob LaPoint had to make it across if he wanted the title. Now, of course, he's already the International Tour champion.
There's one. And watch what happens here. He almost got pulled over his ski. Look at the trouble he has. Resisting, ski pops up on him, back on his ski, still is able to come back, get around number 3, dig in, go across the wake, and watch him transfer his edge at number 4, come across. He knows what he's got to do. He's holding on. He wants that title. There it is. There's that clenched fist in the air.
What a champion with all kinds of pride. He wanted to take this final tournament. There's no question about that.
This is impressive. This is the buoy right here where he got in the biggest trouble. You'll see it. He should have, most skiers would have never, ever corrected here. You see, it just was awkward. It was no good. But Bob LaPoint went on and won.
A very deserving International Tour champion and the champion of the Atlanta International Championships in the men's slalom division. Bob LaPoint usually doesn't get too excited about things. He just goes out and does the job, but I'll bet he's smiling inside, if not on the outside, as we go down to Jim Biondi and the new Pro International Tour champion.
Smiling indeed, Art, the new Pro World Champion, the first ever. That's got to be nice.
Oh, it feels good, and I couldn't think of a better way to finish off the year and just to win the final event, and it's like putting the icing on the cake. I'm just really happy that it came out like that.
Well, you're going to be sorry to see 1984 go. We're not only talking world championships, we're talking world records as well. You have to be happy about that?
Oh, yeah, it was a good year. I got the record back. My brother broke it early in the year, and I was fortunate at Shreveport to get it back. And it's been a great season. There was 8 events, and I think everybody did a wonderful job, and your coverage was great. We really appreciate that, and I'm really looking forward to next year.
Well, congratulations for a record year in every sense, Bob.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Now let's go back to Art.
The final results of the men's slalom. Bob LaPoint, Atlanta International Championship winner right there. Andy Mapple, Kris LaPoint, and then with his highest finish in the final stop of the tour, Mike Morgan. This looks like it's going to be some fun action on the beach. Hydrosliding. It's a gas, especially when you're with your buddies, I guess, huh?
I tell you, you go out in the lake on the weekend, if you got a you break it out, because you don't have to be real good at anything. You know, they're doing a side slide. Look at that, bumping into each other. No problem. No pain. No muss, no fuss.
No pain. That's my kind of fun.
Hey, mine too. And I'll tell you, these guys here are not what you call your pro hydrosliders. I guess you can see. It looks like more like, all due respect, the Three Stooges out there on hydroslides, but they're having a lot of fun. And it displays the ability of the hydroslide. You do 180s, 360s, you do side slides on them, and all you do is just on your knees, on the water, and you pull it behind any boat, outboard, inboard. They're a lot of fun.
I'd love to see you try that, bud.
Well, I'm sure you would, Art, and one day maybe I shall, but not today. In the meantime, we'll watch our friends here, and one of them's going to go in right there. There's a price to be paid in every great sport.
That's right. Hydrosliding. It's fun for everybody. The very exciting men's freestyle jumping coming up next now. And for the introduction of the skiers and the jumpers, Paul McFarland.
Introducing the 4 finalists in the championship round for men's freestyle competition for the International Water Ski Tour. The pride of Georgia's Ski and Social Club from Odessa, Florida, Terry McAnespie. The 1982 World Freestyle Champion from Cypress Gardens, Florida, Mark Jackson. The record holder in this event, a show skier also with Cypress Gardens, Florida, from Winter Haven, Florida, Scotty Clack. And finally, the 1983 World Freestyle Champion from SeaWorld of Florida, living in Fenton, Michigan, Harold Cole. Good luck, gentlemen.
Here you see the reason why it's such a great rivalry between Cole and Clack. Both young men with 6,600 points. It comes down to the very final stop for the International Tour Champion title between those two young men. Jackson with 4,000 points in third spot, McAnespie in fourth with 2,900 points. Terry McAnespie now. His planned third jump will be the gainer. This young man has certainly progressed well throughout this year.
Started out slow, but has come back now and is in our top 4 skiers.
Looks a little bit stiff, but gets a good lift and a very fine landing for McAnespie.
You know, I was a little bit scared there. If you look at the surface of the ramp when we get our replay, looks like he came off this front left corner a little bit close. I thought he was going to lose one of his skis off the corner there, but he made it okay. He got it around. I tell you, those guys got to be agile to do that.
Now we go to Mark Jackson for his third try. Back gainer. That's on the program for Mark Jackson from Cypress Gardens. Check it out now as he gets very fine lift and makes it look easy.
He did some things there.
Fanny drag there.
That's right. He did some things that some people should be aware of. He took a lot of speed to the ramp. He went for distance. You can see how far out he goes as he's going upward. Geez, he didn't even budge. You know, those legs of his are so strong. But he's going for distance, which helps him in his points. There's a difficulty factor, and there's also a point value attached to each trick. And I would say that Mark Jackson did very, very well on that.
We'll be back with more men's freestyle jumping, followed by the women's top slalom competitors here on the USA Network.
Connolly, the choice of water ski champions for the last 20 years. For your free brochure giving all the details on Connolly slaloms, tricks, jumpers, and accessories, write the factory today. Now let's listen to what champion Mike Hazelwood has to say about Connolly.
Whether you're out for world records or just out for fun, Connolly skis will help you perform your best. Connolly makes a great sport even better.
Connolly, the top gold medal winner in the last 2 national tournaments. Get your free brochure today.
If your skiing requires something special, look into the exciting new Mastercraft Power Slot. The world leader in tournament towboats, Mastercraft introduces the ultimate in pulling power. The Power Slot, with a revolutionary 1.5 to 1 gear ratio, is the easiest ski boat to drive for short line slalom and jumping. This, coupled with the Power Slot's reliable holding ability, proves that Mastercraft is more than a boat. Mastercraft is a statement of excellence.
O'Brien, the champion, the pro, Judy McClintock, Andy Mapple. When they want the best, they come to O'Brien for tournament slalom skis, trick skis, and jumpers. It's the reason more people the world over ski on O'Brien than any other water ski. O'Brien water skis perform for everyone. The champion, the pro, O'Brien. First, for good reason.
Pleasurecraft Marine Engines, the #1 choice of competition skiers. PCM engines, known for their performance, acceleration, reliability. PCM engines, offering dependable power and a whole lot more. PCM power, selected for every major world-class ski tournament and selected for water ski shows, such as Cypress Gardens. So whether you ski competitively or just for fun, count on Pleasurecraft Marine Engine power. PCM, the choice of champions.
Scotty Clack, the back Mobius. Now this is really getting into difficulty.
Scotty Clack is going for it. He wants this title. Watch this one. Twist. The circles that never come together.
He got it! Oh, what a move.
What a fantastic. You know, Harold Cole, the man coming right behind him, as we see Scott perform this, Harold Cole coming behind him invented this maneuver, but Scott Clack's doing as good as anybody can.
Well, they both take a lot of punishment, I know that. You see the force that they land on the water here as we watch the slow motion in another angle.
You notice that the skier extends his body outward like he's going to do a gainer, but in the meantime, he spins completely around in the air. They call it the two circles that never come together.
And the crowd here in Lake Lanier, Georgia, really into this contest, that's for sure. Harold Cole, as he's down in the water from Fenton, Michigan. He took the freestyle jump at Groveland. Clack came back to the Iron Man. Clack put the pressure on, winning at Shreveport. Okay, Cole's going to try that Mobius. Does his skiing out of SeaWorld. What's he going to be looking for here on the approach?
He's a lot of speed. He wants a lot of altitude, so he get completely around. Does a little fanny bump there. Not good as he usually does, but still, he was in good body position when he came over. He seems to be happy with it.
Didn't look like the style was quite up to the Harold Cole standard, but he certainly does make a very difficult move look easy.
On that replay there, we saw an excellent example of the camera angle of his wrap position and how he starts to unwind as he springs off the top. There are a lot of things going on there. There's the upward momentum and the forward carrying speed of the skier as he springs off the top.
They sometimes call these guys crazy for trying these dangerous and daring moves off a 5.5-foot ramp with the boat speed up to 35 miles an hour. So there's not much margin for error. How do you work out in a sport like this? Beautiful timing.
My goodness, that was one of the prettiest.
Put it to music.
One of the most beautiful 720s I've seen. And I'm telling you, this guy right here on the water, he really feels pressure. His knee's knocked. He just put together a 720. He needed that now. Pressure's off of him a little bit. His fourth jump will be one that he'll take at his own discretion.
Harold Cole to try the 720 once again so we can compare with the style points and the distance.
Okay, notice again the wrap position. The rope is all the way around his body instead of just at his back. He will start his maneuver on the ramp. His spin will take place there. Has to keep his bearing.
Makes it look so easy. Didn't quite get the height that Scotty Clack does. Not quite the flare, but very effective motion.
Point out to you, as we see this replay, his skis are a lot shorter than Scott Clack's. You get a sensation, a different feeling when you see Cole jump than you do because those long 72-inch skis are underneath his body.
Well, it's going to be interesting now to see how the judges total up. With his best all-around performance ever, the new International Tour champion of freestyle jumping, Jim Viandi's with him now, Scott Clack.
Thank you, Art. From a family of show skiers, the pioneers who built this great sport, to a record day and a world champion, the first in freestyle. Scott, what a remarkable day for you.
Oh, it feels great out here. Like you said, my mom's out here. I come from a background of water skiing, and the crowds out here were super. I just feel really great today.
Your program was very aggressive, very tough. You started out to either do it all or not do it, didn't you?
Well, I had to make everything, and I skied well. I had a bad practice yesterday, but I came back today and really skied well. I decided to go for glory on the last trick and throw in a trick that I've never made in the tournament, but what the heck.
All right, Scott, back to you, Art.
Scott Clack, not only the Atlanta International champion, but the National Tour champion and a new world record. 13,093 points, surpassing his old world record of 12,976. Scott Clack, congratulations. Harold Cole with a terrific effort, 12,747 points, followed by Jackson and McAnespie. Time for the women's slalom, and let's go down dockside to Paul McFarland for the skier introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, now introducing the women for the final competition here at the Atlanta Championships of the International Water Ski Tour. The girls' slalom record holder from Port Walton Beach, Florida, Kim Laskoff. The national overall champion from Orlando, Florida, Karin Roberge. The 1984 Masters Slalom champion, Camille Duvall. And finally, the world record holder in this event from Sacramento, California, Deena Brush. Good luck, ladies.
Before we get to this great competition, let's take a look now at the women's slalom standings. Look how close it is with Deena Brush, 6,500 points, and Camille Duvall doing a terrific job in the latter part of the tour to pick up the slack and is only 100 points behind. Karin Roberge in third place, and Laskoff, who's the youngest skier in the tournament at 16 years old, is in the number 4 spot. Earlier, we took a look at some of the ladies' competition, and not all the ladies competing in the slalom could make it up the ladder, of course, but they all gave it a good try. Kim Laskoff, the youngest competitor on the International Water Ski Tour, only 16 years old and skiing only for 5 years competitively. She had the awesome task of competing against the ladies' water skier of the year, Deena Brush of Sacramento, California. Here she is at 22 off the rope. A smooth run with fine style for only 5'4". Kim once again this year breaking the girls' national slalom record. Does well in the big time, and the crowd at Lake Lanier Islands loves it. At 28 off, Kim has her troubles. Originally from Omaha, Nebraska, Kim skis now out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida. She undercuts the buoy, taking a nasty spill. A disappointed Kim Laskoff asked for a re-ride, claiming rollers on the course hampered her effort. But the judges said no, so Deena Brush advances to the finals. The veteran Karin Roberge from Orlando, Florida, 5'5", 125 pounds. She's been skiing since the age of 6. She's from a water skiing family. Her brother Carl Roberge was high in the point standings this year until a knee injury required surgery earlier. At 32 off, she makes all 6 buoys. She's up against the very tough Camille Duvall in the semifinal round. Karin, the national overall women's champion in 1979, 80, and 83. Got off to a slow start on the international tour because of injuries, but she came on strong. She goes down at 35 off after registering a half buoy. So in the final round, it's those two rivals once again, Deena Brush and Camille Duvall.
Okay, I'm here with Kris LaPoint and Deena Brush, two of the greatest slalom skiers of all time. Kris, if you would, please tell us how your ski differs than the average recreational combo slalom ski that we find in the market.
Yeah, Bud, you'll find we have a narrower tail, we have a concave bottom, we have a deeper bevel, we have bindings that give you much more control, and also the skis are a little stiffer than you find in a combo pair.
Deena, on the other hand, Kris, 6'3", 200 pounds, his requirements are different than yours. How does your ski differ than Kris's?
Right, I ski on a 65-inch ski versus Kris's 67. Also, it's a bit softer because we're skiing at slower speeds.
Yeah, we might remind you that the skis that the men and women ski on here today are typical of the products that you can buy in the store. If you're a slalom skier on a basic level, you can get them, but if you need one of these high-powered jobs, you can get those in your local ski shop as well.
A great crowd here at Lake Lanier, just north of Atlanta, Georgia, anticipating the runoff of the finals between Camille Duvall and Deena Brush. Camille is up on the water from Orlando, Florida, 28 feet off the rope. That means only 47 feet between her and the boat. We talked with her earlier about this great rivalry. What does she have to do to beat Deena Brush?
Well, it's going to take definitely a hard run. Going to have to run 35 off probably, and definitely deep into 38, probably around the world record area. We've been close to that quite a few times this year, so it's just going to be a flip of the coin tomorrow, but I'm going to give it my best.
Deena Brush and Camille Duvall battling it out. Camille Duvall making it look just as easy as Deena did earlier. Deena Brush now up in the water. Deena now knows what she has to do at 28 feet off the rope. And we asked her before she got into the water about her rival, Camille Duvall.
Well, I don't really think of it as how far I'm going to have to go. I'm going out there to do my best, and same with Camille. I'm going out there to make 35, which I've been doing quite frequently in the tour, and to get deep into 38, and I think I'd be pleased with that.
Once again, making it look easy. And why would a skier choose to go second like this, Bud?
I tell you, you don't know what's going on in the mind of a skier. Wind conditions are changing. Some skiers say, catch me if you can. The other wants to go out and set the pace and say, I'm going to burn you and psych you out.
Deena Brush chose to go behind Camille Duvall as we check out the replay. And this is really the shot that you can see the style as they cut through the water.
You know, all of those little troubles and plagues earlier are gone. She's skiing a hot 28. In fact, I thought I saw a little steam on the water. I won't be too melodramatic. But what we anticipated between Camille and Deena is indeed happening.
We're not just going for the championship here at Lake Lanier in the Atlanta International Championship, but we're going for the International Tour Champion title, because only 100 points separating these two very fine slalom skiers. We will return with more of the Women's Slalom Finals here at the Atlanta International Championship, exclusively on the USA Network.
Are you up to Mastercraft? A ski made for the masters. A ski that set the world record. A ski that tied the world record. A ski that surpassed the world record. A ski sold by professionals at specialty marine and sporting goods stores. Mastercraft skis. And the best is yet to come. Mastercraft.
Ski Supreme, the boat that dreams are made of. Sexy and aggressive, Ski Supreme comes to life with powerful performances and responsive fingertip control. For record-breaking potential or sheer family fun, Ski Supreme delivers both with ease and luxury like you never dreamed possible. Discover why thousands of discriminating buyers worldwide won't settle for anything less than the boat that dreams are made of. Exclusively from Ski Supreme. Call toll-free 1-800-782-7363 for the dealer nearest you.
For almost 45 years, the American Water Ski Association has been showing people how to have fun on the water. To get a free copy of their pamphlet, 10 Tips to Better Water Skiing, just write AWSA, Post Office Box 191, Winter Haven, Florida, 33882. Just ask for 10 tips.
I'm Camille Duvall, world team member and 12-time national champion. When I want to catch all the action, I turn to World Water Skiing Magazine. Call 1-800-554-3000 today for a 25% savings on a one-year subscription. Each issue of World Water Skiing is jam-packed with super how-to tips, equipment tests, tournament coverage, and the hottest technical developments and more, focusing on everything from basic to advanced slalom, tricks, jumping, barefooting, and kneeboarding. Hurry and call now for water skiing's best buy on action.
Call now to order your one-year subscription for only $9.97. Call toll-free 1-800-554-3000.
Camille, very good skier. She had a disappointing third place at the Palm Beach Classic, but then recovered.
I tell you, through the whole season, she's been up and down a little bit, but always there. And to be within 100 points right now of the world record holder and scooting through the water with a lot of prowess.
Oh, the crowd is cheering her. She makes the final buoy and goes through the ski-out buoys. Oh, they're loving it here at Lake Lanier.
Can't you feel it in the air, Art? Can't you feel it?
What a tremendous effort as that rope gets shorter and shorter.
Okay, the tug-of-war called slalom skiing is taking place right now. And this woman at 5'11" is using everything she's got, including her style, her strength, and her reach.
Camille Duvall has really planned a peak for this tournament, don't you think?
It seems that way, doesn't it? Because, you know, she's had a few little problems through the year and been a little bit inconsistent, but she looks good today. And I'll tell you, this is a catch me if you can, because Camille's out there and Deena's got her hands full.
Deena Brush, women's world and U.S. national slalom record holder from West Sacramento, California. She's got her work cut out for her now.
There she goes through that gate. But the ball number one is so important. Keep your eye on what happens at 2 and 3 by virtue of number one. She'll come around. If she gets to 4, she's working hard now. Here she comes, working hard, got some slack rope.
She had to pull up some slack this time. Can she make the final? But no, she cannot. Absolutely correct, Bud. You pointed it out in mid-course. She fell behind, could not make up the difference.
Picked up some slack rope, came across the course. In the process of absorbing that slack rope, got in trouble in the next buoy, which often happens. Remember,
see if we can pick it out here, Bud.
The boat's moving at 34 miles an hour down the course. You get in trouble, you may correct the trouble, but the boat's taking you down. And that's what happened here. She got too far down course. She's going to give it everything she's got to make this turn, but she's too far down course, as you can see around that buoy.
Just can't cut back enough to get around the final buoy. Deena, who went 1.5, at 35 off to win at Cumberland.
Watch how far down course she is when she got in trouble with that slack line. Right there's the slack line. Watch how far away she is down course on the ball when she comes around. She's hooking it hard, trying to get back around. She'll come back around right now, and here's her slack rope. And watch how far she gets down course against that buoy. Comes back, hooks that, trying to get to the next buoy. That's tremendous forces working on her body. Probably about 700 pounds of pull.
But the fans now clapping as Camille Duvall sees if she can continue on for a possible record, not just the championship, and she lets it spring loose. That's almost dangerous for those in the boat.
You know, it really is. The rope handle slingshots forward, and the boat's going 34 miles an hour, and it's often that you'll see the handle go beyond. But there's one elated lady.
The smile of a champion, Bud, and the crowd really appreciates her effort. Let's go now to the dock area, and Jim Biondi, who has that very lucky champion and worthwhile champion alongside.
Thank you, Art. It must be quite a thrill to be called a world champion. That's the first time this title has ever been used.
That's great. That's right. I'm really happy to be a world champion. I've tried several times in the amateur ranks and been second a few times, so this is really great and a great honor for me to be the first women's world champion.
I don't want to take anything away from that great victory of yours, but isn't it a little anticlimactic that a Deena Brush, who's battled you all year long, goes down at 32 off?
I was a little surprised to see that, but we had little kind of windy, rolly conditions today, and it was just kind of a matter of being tough and staying in there with it, yeah.
Camille, world champion women's slalom skier, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Here's the finishing order of the women's slalom. Camille Duvall winning the International Tour title with this event win at Lake Lanier, followed by Deena Brush, Karin Roberge, and Kim Laskoff. We will be back with more of the International Water Ski Tour and the men's distance jumping here at the Atlanta International Championship.
Ski Supreme, the boat that dreams are made of. Gutsy and aggressive, Ski Supreme comes to life with powerful performances and responsive fingertip control. For record-breaking potential or sheer family fun, Ski Supreme delivers both with ease and luxury like you never dreamed possible. Discover why thousands of discriminating buyers worldwide won't settle for anything less than the boat that dreams are made of. Exclusively from Ski Supreme. Call toll-free 1-800-782-7363 for the dealer nearest you.
Competitive skiers demand the best from themselves and their skis. Kidder skis have won every major international tournament and hold more world records than all other ski companies combined. Professionals and recreational skiers, too, benefit from Kidder's handmade quality and world championship performance. Skiing for a world title or just for fun, Kidder's got the ski for you.
Kidder skis make me #1 in the world. No. They make me #1 in the world. I'm the champ.
Kidder skis, #1 in the world.
Kris Clothiers is... Hold it! Due to short notice, we can't cancel our fall 85 orders. We have hundreds and hundreds of suits and sport coats coming in daily. So Kris Clothiers stays open indefinitely with our biggest 2-for-1 plus sale ever. What's the plus? Buy 2 suits or sport coats for the price of 1, and we give you a $35 silk tie free. Prices start as low as $95 for sport coats, $150 for suits. Buy 2 for the price of 1, get a free $35 silk tie. It's 2 for 1 plus at Kris Casera, San Jose, and Morgan Hill.
Cheryl Santiago, a senior word processor, is hooked on Gill Cable.
I really enjoy Gill Cable. The movies, the specials, and I especially like MTV. It has good concerts, I can record them, play them back, watch them over and over again, and it really fits my lifestyle.
San Jose and Campbell residents are hooked on Gill Cable for movies, variety specials, news, and sports, 24 hours every day.
Time for that long men's jump as they try for length off that ramp, and we've got some terrific competitors this year that it comes right down to the end. Here's the standings, by the way, and you see that the final championship, the International Tour champion, will be crowned out of those top 2. In the first round, 4 jumpers were eliminated. Mick Neville, Bob LaPoint, world record holder Glenn Thurlow, and Lucky Lowe. Now here in the semifinals, Geoff Carrington on his second jump. 174 feet on his first jump, splits to break the speed before approaching the ramp. That first jump, incidentally, was just 1 foot shy of the top mark set by Thurlow. The Brisbane Australian skier has that distinctive Aussie style of leaning out over the tips. Terrific leap of 180 feet. Next up, Mike Morgan has that beautiful jump to beat. Morgan from Lake Wales, Florida, on his third jump after leaps of 155 feet and 172 feet. Morgan loses a little speed to the ramp. He bests his first 2 jumps, but falls short of the competition with a mark of 177 feet. For those many fans who have never been close to a ski jump ramp, let's take a closer look.
You know, the ski ramp is its own kind of monster. It's got water running down it, as you can see. It's fiberglass. It's also been waxed. It's 22 feet of surface out of the water. It's 14 feet wide. In this instance, it's 6 feet high, and it is awesome to look at when you're coming at it 70 miles an hour.
It's the second jump for Sammy Duvall, who was first in qualifying, first at Palm Beach Classic, first at Liz Allen Superstars, and then Mike Hazelwood gained some momentum to take over the point lead. Sammy Duvall wants it back. He's one of the greatest competitors on this water ski tour. Sammy Duvall for his second jump try.
That was a long jump.
Looks very, very nice. Got great spring off the ramp.
Sammy, as you notice, the crowd responds to Sammy. He's very popular. You said something about his technique. As we watch him come into the ramp again, he's a technique stylish jumper. But I want to give you a comment further. He, the man, has intestinal fortitude. He got hurt real bad in Shreveport, Louisiana. He had to put his head back together and come out here and do this.
Sammy's had a 190 jump as we look at his third try after a 180 and 182 to take over the lead here in the men's jump competition at Lake Lanier, Georgia. Charismatic type of young man who does the sport proud. Good speed. Oh, he got some speed into it.
Sammy liked that jump. I did too. Every one of those jumps. Now that was the Sammy Duvall we've seen over the years. Watch him dig those skis in and pick up that speed. Comes across the wake. He's on the ramp. Good kick. Look at the airborne position he's in. Remember the cross, the layover I was telling you? Every time the man's the same.
Okay, he started out high at 180, went to 182, and here's another look at it as he soars toward that ramp like a bullet. He shot.
A lot of speed, kicked it good. He's out there a long way, Art.
This could be his best. That's his best, I'm sure. 184, so he goes 180, 182, 184, and it still was 64 miles an hour. The Atlanta International Championship will continue with the thrills and action of the men's distance jumping when we return.
If your skiing requires something special, look into the exciting new Mastercraft Power Slot. The world leader in tournament towboats, Mastercraft introduces the ultimate in pulling power. The Power Slot, with a revolutionary 1.5 to 1 gear ratio, is the easiest ski boat to drive for short-line slalom and jumping. This, coupled with the Power Slot's reliable holding ability, proves that Mastercraft is more than a boat. Mastercraft is a statement of excellence.
Looks like you folks should get acquainted with Coleman.
Coleman? The camping people?
Coleman the cooler people. The people who make the Coleman cooking machine.
For the patio.
And Coleman canoes and boats.
Now, son, don't forget a life jacket.
That's Coleman, too. So's the tent.
Now, where's Shirley?
And the new Ultimate Lantern.
Hey, this is a Coleman we never knew.
Coleman, we outfit your outdoors.
Are you up to Mastercraft? A ski made for the masters. A ski that set a world record. A record that held for 4 years. And when that record fell, it was broken by Mastercraft. Top professionals use Mastercraft skis for record-setting performances. If you're up to challenging the best, do it on a Mastercraft ski. Find out what Mastercraft is up to. Keep up with championship skiers and visit your nearest Mastercraft ski dealer. Mastercraft skis, sold only by professionals at specialty marine and sporting goods stores. Mastercraft skis. And the best is yet to come. Mastercraft.
Earlier, I had the opportunity to talk with the founder of this wonderful international water ski tour. Rob Shirley, founder of the International Water Ski Tour, and what a great premier year it's been all across the United States. Record crowds and lots of records on the water itself. You've got to be proud.
Oh, that's fantastic, Art. We feel so good. The athletes have been putting out all they've got all year, and the officials are great, and the sponsors, Coors and Ford and Mastercraft, Ski Supreme, they've all done just a great job supporting us, and just such a beautiful place here in Atlanta. We're proud to be at Lake Lanier Islands. I can't say enough.
The athletic ability is certainly shown through because we've seen a change in the point standings almost after every tournament.
That's correct. We don't know exactly who's going to win, and that's just a beautiful ending for our last stop on the tour. The athletes are just head-to-head, right down to the wire.
Okay, what about the future? Bigger and better things?
Fantastic year next year. We're really working on a great year for 85.
You had 8 tournaments this year, 4 of them on nationwide television. What do you hope for next year?
Well, we're certainly happy with USA Network for sure. They've done a great job for us, and we're going to look at about 10 tournaments next year and see if that'll work out great. We may get outside the United States for a couple of them, and that'll be exciting.
Mike Hazelwood, he's 26 years old from England, 5'9", 185, extremely strong. Now, we saw Sammy Duvall post the best mark so far of 184. You're going to see a different style skier right now, different style jumper.
You're seeing power here. You're going to see shoulders. He'll stay out there a long time, almost settle in the water, use his shoulders to gain his speed.
Great speed and rockets off the ramp. Oh, my goodness.
What a jumper. What a jumper. Here he comes across now. Remember, he's only 100 points ahead of Sammy Duvall in Grand Prix points to be the Tour champion. He needs a long jump. What a jump.
Let's check out the height. 191 on his very first jump. Oh, what a sail through the air.
Art, that's what I call a not too shabby opener.
Absolute amazing young man as he has really developed during the course of the tour, and he's so happy that this tour is underway. He says, now I've got my training schedule. I can look forward to the next tour. The crowd is really going wild right now. They want a record as he approaches the ramp with a great speed. Doesn't quite get the lift, but rockets out very well.
That's another long one, though. I'll tell you,
consistently long.
He's popping them. He's popping them. You know, you talked about him coming on. He was behind Sammy the first 3 tournaments. He was weak. He wasn't coming on strong, and he just went for it. He made a renewed commitment to his skiing.
Great strength, more than I really saw with the naked eye. The slow motion, you can see the terrific lift right now.
As you see the speed of the ramp, he comes so quickly. Once he commits, he comes so fast. Look how far he's carrying. Look at the crowd in the background.
Look at the sail.
Look at that.
That's what you can't see when it goes through a regular motion.
Jump.
And that could be a tour record. It is a tour record, 194.
65 miles an hour, 25 feet in the air. The highest on both counts all day long and reflected in the distance.
Incredible. Jim Biondi is now dockside with a very smiley and happy champion, Mike Hazelwood. Jim?
A smiling world champion, Art. Mike Hazelwood. Tell me about that second run. You'd already won the championship. Here you come and break a tour record. Were you thinking maybe even world?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, the first one, 190, felt pretty good. You know, I dialed it all in and got good lift, but I knew if I connected with more speed and got a good spring, I'd go 200. Now, that's what I want to do now, is work for that. But that first one felt so great. You know, Sammy and I have been close all year, and it's been neck and neck. I've enjoyed it.
How about this first year of the international tour? The timing, everything, the training that goes with it.
I've enjoyed it so much. It's unbelievable to have a tour where we can go every weekend and try and improve our skiing. And we know what we're going to do and get points every week. It makes us work harder, and I think it's good for the sport, and the spectators seem to enjoy it. It's been fabulous for me. I hope we can carry on this great.
Congratulations as the world champion jumper on this inaugural season, Mike.
Thanks a lot.
So the final results in men's jumping look like this. Hazelwood with a new record of 194 feet, Duvall, Carrington, and Morgan. But let's take a look now at the final list of Grand Prix point standings in each event. First of all, the most decisive division, Bob LaPoint over Mapple and Kris LaPoint third, Morgan fourth with 4,800 points. Then Swan, Hazelwood, McEllier, and DeTelder on the top 8 of that division. Then in the next division, we look at freestyle. Still ended up as close as it was most all the season long. Clack with a 200-point margin over Cole, then Jackson and McAnespie. In the women's slalom, Duvall and Brush as close as you can get, with Camille Duvall taking the overall title. Roberge third, Laskoff in fourth position with 3,800 points. In the men's jump division, Hazelwood taking it by 300 points. The overall title over Sammy Duvall. Carrington moving up into third, and Lowe and Morgan tied for fourth with 4,800 points. There's Thurlow, Neville, and Bob LaPoint rounding out the top 8. What a terrific day of water skiing and jumping on the final stop of the International Water Ski Tour. And Bud Massey, it seems to me that more than the money, it's that first pro title ever that means more to these skiers.
Well, let me put it this way, Art. We've had 60-some skiers from 9 nations try to get on this tour. Water skiing's been waiting 60 years for the chance to say pro, and we did it. You think those skiers don't want that title? More than money.
Let's check in with our cohort, Jim Biondi. Jim?
Art, I've talked to a lot of champions today, and this first year on the International Water Ski Tour has been such a champion season that I do think they'll be back next year with a very exciting sport, Art.
We'd like to thank our outstanding crew that's done such a great job all season long across the country. Art Ekman, Bud Massey, Jim Biondi saying thank you for being with us. This has been a sports production of IPI Sports. Produced by Marla Sparks. Director Bill Imboden. Executive producers Bill Imboden and Mike McGowan. The Atlanta International Championship has been brought to you by Mastercraft, the standard by which all others are judged. Coors Light, turn it loose. Ski Supreme, the supreme choice for those who only accept the ultimate in performance.
Post-production for the International Water Ski Tour provided by Gannett Production Services, your full-service video and film company. A complete location and post-commercial production facility. Atlanta, Denver, Minneapolis, and Phoenix.